Uh, Welcome all. In this career counseling session, Wisdom Aeronix and Yuvamanthan presents a series of lectures with Professor Chanda Jain on various competitive exams in India. Before we start with the presentation, I would like to tell you something about me. I am Chanda Jain. I am a certified global career counselor from University Singapore and University of California, Los Angeles. I have been among the national top performers of IIT Bombay in use of ICT in education and got SAP Award of Excellence. I am also working as a mentor of change in Atal Tinkering Labs with Niti Aayog. I have a rich 19 years of experience in training, counseling, and consulting. Today we will talk about engineering. As we know that engineering is one of the most prestigious careers in India and in fact over abroad. When we say engineering, engineering has emerged as one of those careers which has attracted most science students in India, and a large number of aspirants taking the engineering exams itself says that how much we are into engineering. Engineering is a multidisciplinary field with new discipline being added, branches being added with the advancement of science and technology. If I talk since the beginning, then there were only three branches: civil, mechanical, and then gradually electronics came, then computer science and IT came, then aircraft engineering, biotechnology, and lots of other branches got on adding on. So engineering is one of those prestigious careers which a science student dream, and most of the brilliant students and even their parents dream that their child should be able to crack IIT, because IITs are the most illuminated institutions of the India. So, if I talk about the major branches which you can opt after cracking IIT JEE, these are civil and architecture, computer science and IT, which is again one of the most prominent branch, while civil is one of the oldest branch. Then comes mechanical engineering, which is all about machines. Chemical engineering, which is all about chemical engineering in various fields like paints. Electronics and communication. In today's time, electronics and communication is one of the most fast branches in engineering, because this era is all about mobiles and technology. Then comes electronics and electrical, textile engineering, production engineering, and biotechnology engineering. Other than these branches, also there are various branches like aircraft engineering, maintenance engineering, which are quite popular in engineering students. If I talk about the major colleges in India, because at most of the time students are confused that for which college should they opt. So IITs or Indian Institutes of Engineering comes at the first place. These are the organizations which have produced some of the most brilliant minds of country and have contributed significantly in the growth of the country. Then comes Indian Institute of Information and Technology, triple IITs, National Institutes of Technology, NITs. There are certain regional universities also which have earned very good name for themselves, like Jadavpur University, Kolkata, Anna University, Chennai, West Bengal University of Technology, BITS Pilani, Institute of Engineers, Kolkata, VIT Vellore. Other than these, there are lots of private universities also which are doing quite well, like Amity University, like SRM University. So, Tanjavur University, SRS Sastra University. So, there are many colleges and universities which are doing really well in terms of quality education, in terms of placement. Thapar University, Punjab is again an example of a very good engineering university. So, these are the major colleges where students look for after clearing the exam. Now comes the most tricky part: which entrance test should I opt? If what if I am not able to clear IIT JEE? So I'm giving you a list for various exams which are conducted on national level, state level, or institute levels. For national level, the major exams are IE Advanced and IE Mains. then JEE Advanced and b.tech, then Velar Institute of exam. Then state level exams are there like Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, symbiosis exam. Then West Bengal, Gujarat, Assam. Means most of the states conduct their own exams also for engineering colleges, which are run by the state universities. Other than these, there are certain exams which are conducted on institutional level like AUEE, then Manipal University, and Aligarh Muslim University, Bharati Vidyapeeth is Common Entrance Test, and so on. These are the major tests which you can look for. Rather, syllabus for each test is more or less same. If if you are preparing for IIT JEE, then the syllabus of most of the exams is covered. But as we know, there are only very limited seats in IIT JEE, so students should keep in mind that they should opt for state level tests also, because in every state there are few good universities which can produce good results, and you can find out a good career over there. So firstly, we will talk about IIT JEE Mains. As you must be knowing that IIT JEE is conducted in two parts. Firstly, Mains exam is conducted. If you pass this exam, if you clear the cutoff, then you are eligible to go in the second round, which is IIT JEE Advanced. IIT JEE Mains is conducted by CBSE, and the basic eligibility criteria is 10 plus 2 with 50%. Generally, forms are filled in December. Mode of paper may be online and offline both. There will be only one paper, and duration of this paper will be 180 minutes. Number of questions is 90, and each question carries 4 marks. So score range may be between 0 to 360. Validity of the score of this exam is just only for 1 year, and a student is allowed to take only 2 attempts now, because it has been seen earlier that to clear IIT JEE, students used to keep trying for 4 or 5 years, and then it was very difficult for them to come back into the studies if they don't succeed. So now the number of attempts allowed is only 2. Negative marking is of 1/4, means if you do one wrong question, then 1 by 4 of the total weightage will be deducted from your whole score. So you have to be very careful while attempting the question. Generally, cutoff is between 100 to 120 marks, so it is not that difficult. If you have a basic understanding of the concept, and if you know which question to attempt, then you can easily clear this cutoff. Age is a student should be born after October 1, 1992. Once you have cleared IIT JEE Advanced, we should not forget that every year more than 14 to 15 lakh students appear for IIT JEE Mains. From those students, top 2,20,000 students are allowed to appear for Advanced. And the test format of IIT JEE Advanced is almost more or less same. It is of duration of 180 minutes. Score range is 0 to 180. Score validity is again 1 year. Number of attempts allowed again 2. Negative marking is here sectional. In some sections negative marking may be more. In some sections negative marking may be less. A minimum quotient required is 10% in each subject and 35% in aggregate. Now in IIT JEE Advanced, there is no weightage for the marks of class 12th. So if you have not scored very well in class 12, then also you can look upon on clearing IIT JEE Mains and then Advanced. If I talk about the important points to be remembered while cracking an exam like IIT JEE, then self-discipline is the key. You have to prepare a study schedule which you have to follow religiously. Study management is required because you have to give equal weightage to all the 3 subjects: physics, chemistry and mathematics, because generally what we see that there is always a catch in at least in one subject for a student. So you have to identify where do my problem lies and how I'm going to overcome this. Healthy diet again is a very important aspect, because if you don't eat healthy for 2 years, as minimum 2 years preparation time is required, so if you don't take healthy diet, then it will be really difficult for you to concentrate and remain focused. You have to utilize your time given, because this time utilization is very important, as you have to cope up with the studies of 12th as well, and you have to prepare for IIT JEE. When you are preparing for these entrance, you have to keep in mind that whatever you are studying in class 11th and class 12th is equally important, because most of the concepts are cleared there only. Most of the time what we see and observe, that students have stress, they have fear that I will not be able to pass the test, or some students are studying harder, or some students are into better coaching, what should I do, or some students are doing better than me. So it is very important that you are able to control that stress and fear, because fear blurs the vision, and it doesn't allow you to give best of you. Remain positive towards your studies. Don't let the negativity come in your thoughts. See, everyone has a different attitude, aptitude towards the subjects. Some student might be very good in physics, your friend might be very good in physics, and you probably are not that good in physics, but that does not mean that you will not be able to clear the exam, because you might have your strength in chemistry or in mathematics. So please be clear and have positive attitude. You should have clarity in your thoughts, and you should also have a clear idea which stream do you want to opt, because then it will be easy for you to choose the college afterwards, because there are certain institutions which are famous for some particular branches. So if you score well and you are having your number, your name in counseling list, then if you have decided primarily, then it will be easy for you to make a right choice. Yes, now comes the most important aspect, coaching. Is it essential, or it's just a myth? As we know that our country has a coaching factory almost in every city, in every major city, where students are rigorously prepared for IIT JEE, and even some institutions have started providing coaching from ninth standard onwards, or even some from 8th or 7th standard onwards. So it is a question which is always there, that whether I should go for the coaching, or should I go for self study. See, I will discuss both the things. Coaching is something which helps you in streamlining your preparation. Why so? Because as being a student of 11th standard or 10th standard, sometimes you don't have idea how to study, what to study. So if you take a coaching, it will help you to streamline your preparation. Secondly, you will get an environment, and you will see other people, other students working harder. Then it will boost your morale as well, that I should also work hard. Secondly, most of the coaching institutions run mock test series, which helps the students to assess themselves, where do they lie, and how much efforts are required. They also provide structured study plans, which help students to stay online. But there are few cons as well if I talk about coaching. Firstly, coaching is quite expensive. A middle class Indian family, it is very difficult for them to avail good coaching, because regional coaching centers are not able to provide that good results. That why students run to the cities like Kota, Delhi, or where coaching institutions are being centralized. Again, coaching also increases stress level, because when a child sees others working very hard or scoring better than them, then it always creates stresses. Also, coaching infuses unnecessary comparison between the students, as student, they, rather than working on their strength, they start looking for others. And another one of the, means I would say, worst part of being in coaching, that it deviates you from the studies of 10 plus 2, because they loaded you with so much of work and pressure. The study of 10th, 11th and 12th is being compromised. From my opinion, it is very important that you pay equal attention to your studies of 10 plus 2, because that is something which is going to give you conceptual understanding, and which will create your base for the upcoming studies. What matters most? What should we do when it comes to exam like IIT JEE? Coaching helps, or self study helps? When I've given advice to lots of students, and my experience says that conceptual understanding is the first thing a student should have. because whenever you are going to write your exam, whenever you are reading your question, conceptual understanding is something which is going to help you in tricky questions. Direct question any student can prepare, any student can do right, but a student who has real conceptual understanding, he or she can attempt tricky questions as well. Rigorous practice of various concepts, formulae, past year papers is very much important. You should have clarity of syllabus and difficulty level. See, at times we are very good in a subject, but we are not able to understand the level of difficulty in that subject. So it is important that you do some past papers so that you have a clear idea what will be the difficulty level of the exams. Revise key concepts. Do as many questions as possible from various resources. Don't depend on one book or one resource. And again, I would say, which I have already said, that disciplined study schedule is something which will lead you towards the success, towards the result which you require. And disciplined study schedules include that you should stay away from social media, you should be having a disciplined routine which includes proper sleeping, proper diet, which includes stress-free time for studies. I also would like to suggest a few books which are considered as the best books regarding all three subjects. Firstly, I'll talk about physics, all NCERT books, textbooks, then concept of physics, Bhagavad Gita of physics, I would say H.C. Verma, both parts, physics for IIT JEE, Resnick, Halliday and Walker, problems in general physics, I. Erodov, IIT JEE physics by D.C. Pandey, problems in physics, S.S. Grotto. If you go through all these books, there is no reason that you will not be able to understand the concepts in physics. Then best chemistry books for IIT JEE, again NCERT textbooks for both class 11th and 12th. Numerical chemistry by P. Bahadur, organic chemistry by Morrison Boyd, IIT JEE inorganic chemistry by O.P. Tandon, concise inorganic chemistry by J.D. Lee, and physical chemistry by Twilight editorial team. Then we come to mathematics, IIT Mathematics by M.L. Khanna, again considered as Bhagavad Gita. TMH books for mathematics, class 11th and class 12th mathematics, R.D. Sharma, trigonometry, S.L. Lone, higher algebra, Hall and Knight, and differential calculus by A. Das Gupta. These are the books which are recommended for exam like IIT JEE. These books will help you to understand the basic concepts in all these three subjects, and all the solutions are also available. You can discuss with your friends, and these books are very good for practice as well. If you do prepare from these books and you try to grab the essence of these books and practice well, then there is no reason that you will not be able to succeed for IIT JEE. I wish you all the best, and for any query you can write to me on this mail chanda.jain@wisdomedunix.com. If you like this session, please do subscribe our channel, and if you have further any query or you want to give some feedback to us, you can write to us on this email. I will welcome your suggestions and for improvement, where we can something we can add into this session so that it can be more beneficial for the students. Thank you very much for listening me. All the best.